everyone.
Hi, guys.
Hi, welcome back. I am Melanie.
I'm Santana.
And this is just one more chapter. Before we get into things, please rate and review. Go to your Apple, go to your Spotify, give us a 5-star rating. Follow us on all of our social medias, Instagram. I was going to say Facebook for some reason. I don't know why I was going to say Facebook. Where are we, Santana?
TikTok.
Thank you.
YouTube, if you're just listening.
And join us on Fable, where we hold our online book club, just called Just One More Chapter. You'll see us there. The current book is Normal People by Sally Rooney. It's different.
Yes, different writing style. I'm not used to it.
Neither am I.
Yeah, it's very different.
Apparently that's how she writes. Like her other book, Conversations with Friends, is the same.
Same thing.
Yeah. We won't get into detail because you'll have to catch us next week when we talk about the book and the TV series. You guys are going to be hearing slight barks. Slight bark. You want to sit on her?
You want to come up?
I think he wants to.
You want to come up? You can come up. It's okay.
Okay, Max and Robbie, everyone. So if you hear barking, those are my mother's dogs. She's not here.
Our co-hosts today.
Our co-hosts, loud and annoying ones. So I apologize. So we won't get into details, but Normal People is definitely a different book. I totally think, for my personal opinion, that the series is a payoff.
Yeah,
it's totally worth it to get through the book. To get to the series.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
The series is so good.
So good. And today is the 18th of February, Santana. Why is that special?
Today is the release of Rebel Witch by Kristen
Cicerelli.
I don't know. We never know how to pronounce her name.
No, sorry. I think you're gonna here we go. There we go. If you're watching on YouTube, Max has jumped onto Cicerelli. It's probably gonna give her kisses. Oh, this is
nice. Thank you.
Oh, this is hilarious. Come on, Max. Come on.
You want to come on?
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, jump up. Let's go. Jump. You can jump. You're a good dog. Yes, Rebel Witch comes out today.
Yes, so exciting.
So excited. And it's because we are excited not only because we love the book. The first one is that Rebel Witch is going to be our March book club book. So, woohoo.
Get your copy.
Get your copy. It's we read the first one. We have to read the second one.
Of course.
So
especially because the first one ended off as a cliffhanger. So, you got to find out what happens.
You have to. So if you guys haven't read Heartless Hunter, get to it.
Yeah.
It's really easy book to get through. It's just like, it really grips you to want to keep going from chapter to chapter. Yeah. So it's very easy to get through. So yeah. Hopefully we can go get ours right after this. You guys if you're just listening, you have to watch YouTube. It's like the amount of times the dogs are going to keep jumping in between us. It's what book other than the Normal People we've read for February? Did you read any other books?
I read Phantasma, and I need to discuss the ending with you.
Okay.
I was
spoiler warning if you haven't read Phantasma.
Spoiler warning. I was so confused.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So Ophelia walks in, and then all of a sudden Blackwell is like the Prince of Devils.
Yes.
Turns like evil for a second there.
Yes.
I was like, hey, wait, what? Like he was pining after her this whole book. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh no, I'm going to need to take your soul.
Yes.
And then 1 second later he's like in love with her again. I was so confused.
Okay. Yeah, totally. I could see that.
Yeah.
I think it's because it was like the essence of him. Because
was evil?
Well, himself was, right?
Yeah.
And then him going to Phantasm, he didn't really know who he was.
Did he remember, the whole time in Phantasm?
Yes, I think it took. I think it took him a second.
Confused because it wasn't very clear. Like it was a great book. Like I loved all the trials and everything. Just the ending, I was like, what the hell? It seemed very rushed to me. There wasn't a lot of explanation. And then I was also kind of like, well, if Angel was in the locket the whole time, wouldn't he have been after her mother? Because her mother was in Phantasma too, right? So I was like, wouldn't he have been attracted to her mom?
Yeah.
I just had a lot of questions. It was still a really good story. I would recommend it because it was very entertaining. But the ending, I was just like, okay, wait, what? I needed more explanations.
I agree. I feel like it was definitely so much backstory.
Yeah.
We needed to know more. Because I was confused with that as well. The whole mother comes there, her and the dad and the mom are destined. And so then, of course, Ophelia's going to be wanting to go there.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I was just like, I had a lot of questions. But
I don't know if they're going to be answered in Enchantra because it is her sister's.
It's Genevieve's story.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that we'll get some more.
A little bit more backstory.
Yeah.
Because I would have appreciated maybe even a second book with just like the backstory of like Blackwell, right?
Yes.
Or
me too.
Whatever his new name is.
Oh God,
I can't remember.
I can't remember either. But I agree. Like it took me a second, but then how I figured it out was the fact that it's not him fully in Phantasm. That's why he can't remember who he is. So I think it's why when he gets back to his body, he's like remembers, oh yeah, I'm not a good person.
Exactly.
But then he's like, wait.
Yeah.
You know?
I was just kind of like confused. It's a really good story though. I would recommend it. But
yeah,
the ending, I was just like, excuse me? What's going on here?
Yeah. We had to think a little bit about it. You're like, I'm missing something.
What's going on?
No, it's good. And I am excited for Enchantra.
Yeah,
I do wish it's more of Blackwell and Ophelia.
Me too.
Because there is things unleft that I would like to know more. But I am excited to get into the sister.
Exactly.
You know?
Me too. I agree. What have you been reading?
The God and Monsters series by Amber V. Nicole.
Yes.
I can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
It's so good. I'm on the third book, Dawn of the Cursed Queen. The fourth book comes out sometime this year.
Okay.
I'm not too sure. Wrath of the Fallen is the fourth book. This book is a perfect amount of like just enough fantasy.
Yeah.
World building, getting to know the characters. There's depth to the characters. There's character development, and then she puts in the spice. I don't know. It's like a perfect combination for me.
Oh, okay.
It's really good.
So is it like witches or like what kind of fantasy?
Well, the gods.
Okay.
So the main character, the male main character is called the World Ender. He's kind of like the overseer of the galaxy of what keeps everyone in line, which is like the witches, the vampires, the mortals, making sure everything is run smoothly.
Cool.
And if any one of them come out of line, he comes in there and like, because he's the most powerful, puts everything in order. The female main character is our antagonist, who's like more the bad girl. But she's totally badass. No damsel in distress.
Yeah.
She's what's called an Igmorthian, which is kind of like a vampire, but she also has like where she transforms into that being, and she also has wings. So she can also fly.
Interesting.
She's like, if you think about it, like vampires are descendants from Igmorthians, just kind of like the evolution. So there's those that. There are like witches in there and straight up vampires, but they're just kind of like side characters. But it's more like gods and then these Igmorthians.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
It's interesting. It took me a second because the first book really gives you a lot of information. It can be overwhelming, but towards the end, everything made sense in my brain. And the second book is just as good as the first, even better. And then that's when it becomes really like spicy. So I wouldn't really call the first book spicy.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of scenes.
Yeah.
But the second book is where they really get into it.
Yeah.
But I'm finding it's not confusing at all in terms of fantasy and understanding how the things work.
Yeah.
I really love it.
Good.
You have to read it.
I might have to check it out.
It's so good. And it's all on Kindle Unlimited. I don't know if the fourth one will be, but I'm assuming it will since all of her other ones are. But I'm buying those this year for my shelves.
Gotta have them.
Gotta have them. They're so good. Do you have anything else on your Kindle that you want to read next after Phantasm? Like what's eyeing you?
I'm currently reading Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. I got that on my Kindle, so I'll probably read that one next.
Yeah.
But also Rebel Witch is coming out today.
I know.
I'm like,
trying to juggle multiple books.
I'm probably going to be reading that. Let's be real here.
Yeah, exactly. Probably going to be reading that.
What about you? Anything?
Well, I have an ARC, an early release edition on my Kindle that I need to get through. I started it. It's not too bad, but it kind of is like a lot. I don't know. I don't want to call it boring. It's not fair. I haven't finished the book yet.
Yeah.
But it's a very small one. It's, oh gosh, since we're talking about it, I should bring it up. But it's my first ever ARC, and so when you get an ARC, the hope is that you read it and that you give a review for the author before the release date of the book. It's called Blood of the Blackthorn by, oh gosh, I can't pronounce her name. I'm not even going to try to because you know how I am with names. It's terrible. It's okay. It's about like witches and like a magical system, and then a guy who's betrothed to another who's like a prince, and she is like, you know, him and the female main character like have something, but they don't talk about it.
Okay.
But like at the moment she thinks she doesn't have is not a witch, because if she were a witch, she would have to then like it, because they're like, you know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like in that realm.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. I started to read it for the past 2 days, but then I went back to Dawn of the Cursed Queen because it's more gripping for me.
Oh, totally.
So yeah,
it's hard when you have stuff on like your TBR you really want to read too, right?
Yes.
And then you're like, oh, I have this other story that I need to read almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, if I requested an early copy, I need to read it before. I think it's like
100%.
March 11th.
Oh, okay.
So there's
you
still
got some
time.
Yeah.
But like when I'm laying down to go to bed and I'm only awake for so many hours, I want to read a really good book.
Exactly. You want to be like in it.
Yeah, I don't want to waste my time.
100%.
So yeah, that's what I'm reading after the God and Monster series. I do want to read Deep End, and I do want to in March get to The Haunting of Aberdeen Manor.
Yes.
I would like to do that in March.
Yeah, me too.
If you guys are following along on our social media, Santana and I did get a book from a author in Canada, Alberta, for us to read. There's no rush to read it, but I would like to get to it.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, Max is a kisser. Max is a kisser. He's smelling her eyeballs. He's a hugger and kisser. I do want to get to that in March. I don't know, I'm having like a hard time. Sorry guys, I can't keep it together well. Like Max is totally in her personal space. He's such like a suck up. Like he
didn't like me when I walked in.
I don't know, he's like whining. Do you need to go
Are you
aside?
gonna hump me? Are you trying to hump me?
Don't try and hump her, sir. They're not fixed. Most dogs aren't fixed.
I see.
So they're like, but Santana doesn't have female dogs, so that's kind of weird.
I was like,
Stop being a little baby. There's no rush for us to read that book. Sorry, what was I saying was that like I have books that I want to read that are physical, but like Kindle is just getting me.
It's just so convenient.
Yes.
So convenient.
And it's nice to not know the length of a book in terms of like physically seeing it.
100%
To be
I
like
agree.
not feel daunted by the book. You know?
100%. I totally agree with you.
Because like Deep End, is it up here? It's like a pretty thick book.
Yeah,
You
not
know, and
too
I want to
bad.
get to Butchered and Blackbird as well.
Yeah.
Not too big. But like when you see them, not that these are like intimidating sized books, but when you don't see them on Kindle Unlimited, it's like you don't think it's going to be a long time.
Yeah, it's true.
You're like tricking your brain.
So true. It's just like a mental thing.
Yes.
100%.
Oh.
So have you read Butcher and Blackbird?
No.
I downloaded that one as well. So
I got the first.
I seen like the third one.
I got this one
out?
thinking it was, yes.
Yeah.
The third one just came out. I got this one first, Leather and Lark, thinking it was the first one. And I was like, oh shit, it's not.
Yeah.
So then I had to buy the first one. And this was around the same time as like getting the Kindle.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was going to get to it. But then I got the Kindle and I haven't gone back there. But I do want to read it. I heard good things about it. And the third, like you said, the third one just came out.
Yes.
So it's just, sitting there.
There's so many books, so little time.
I have to like lock my Kindle away or something.
I know.
And just do physical books.
Just do physical. That's too funny.
Oh my goodness. Well, this episode, we kind of just wanted to go over some recent and new kind of like book news.
Yes.
That have come out and just kind of give you guys a little bookish news, you know?
Definitely.
The first one I want to talk about is Twilight. Twilight just had an anniversary, and with that, there are 3 new special editions. It's the 20th anniversary of
20th?
Twilight. I know.
Oh my god.
I'm so
Way
old.
to age us.
Ew. But with that, always special anniversaries come with a surprise. So the first one, which I've ordered already, they don't come until September, so it's a pre-order, is a box set. It's a hardcover collection, and the box is gorgeous, and each of the books line up with it and have like cool new covers. I'll send Santana the pictures, so if you are on YouTube, you can look it up.
Yes.
It's gorgeous. It includes all the books of Twilight, plus Midnight Sun, which is Edward's point of view. It's Twilight, but Edward's point of view.
Yeah.
It's expensive. It was like $174.
But it's a collector item, so it's
exactly
to be expected.
Exactly. And it's cheaper obviously in the US than it is here, but it's worth it. It looks stunning.
Yeah.
And I've never read Midnight Sun, but I will. I won't read it from the collector edition, but I will. Maybe hopefully on Kindle Limited it might be on there.
Yeah, it might be on there.
I do need to read it though.
Are they sprayed edges too? Or?
Yes, they're sprayed edges too. The covers are, it's really pretty. I really enjoy it. So I was like, oh, I'm buying it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
The other one is a collector's edition for just Twilight, the book. This book is really like bright and like ethereal. It's like green, pinks, and on the inside covers of both the front and the back, there are pictures of Edward and Bella.
Ooh.
It's pretty. Some people did say that it doesn't really vibe with Twilight the way this book looks, which I can get that, but it's just a special edition.
Exactly.
It looks gorgeous though. It is just of the first book, Twilight, though. It's not a box set. The last one is another Twilight, just the Twilight. It is a sprayed edge, and on the sprayed edges it says, "And so the lion fell in love with the lamb."
Ooh.
It's really pretty. The cover is the same. I think there's designs on the interior of the book as well, but the outside is completely the same. It's just the sprayed edges with that quote, and then I don't know why I lost my train of thought. Pictures on the inside, I believe, as well as a sketch of Edward and Bella. So
exciting.
it's so pretty. But yeah, once I saw that like hardcover like box, I was like,
you're like, give it to me.
Give it to me, please. I need you on my shelves. So yeah, I was really excited when I saw that.
All right. So we have some new book to movie adaptations coming out, or book to show adaptations. The first one I'm going to talk about is Marked Men, Rule and Shaw. This is coming out, well, it actually is already out. Yeah, it came out in January. It will be streaming on Amazon, I believe. It was on there, but it said it wasn't available for me. I don't know why, but it should be on there. So pre-med student Shaw has always harbored deep feelings for Rule, a rebellious friend who's a tattoo artist. Their friendship soon shifts after an uninhibited night becomes a test to see if love can bring them together or tear them apart. And this is based on the book by Jay Crownover. Yeah, and that book was released in 2012.
Yeah, I was telling Santana that I thought it was so weird. Not so weird, but it is common, but I haven't come across it, that men who write like these kind of like romance, dark romance things.
Yeah.
And I know some people are not too fond of the man's perspective of it. So, but I don't know. I've never.
I don't know though. Like, I don't think I've ever read.
No, I don't. I'm trying to think.
Male author like
writing
smutty romance. Like, it's very rare.
It's very rare, or just it does seem kind of like weird.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
So I'll be curious to know if the book has great ratings on Goodreads, like 4.1. It came out in 2012.
Yeah.
But I'd be curious to know like how the male talks to the female and vice versa.
Yeah, totally.
So
yeah, it's got a good rating, 4.1 on Goodreads.
Yeah,
so.
it looks good. The movie doesn't look too bad. It has oh god, what's that actor's name?
Chase Stokes and Sydney Taylor.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Chase is
Stokes.
from
Outer Banks.
Outer Banks on Netflix, and yeah, it looks really good. Like it doesn't look too bad for.
He looks good, all tatted up. Let me tell you.
Oh yes, he looks really good in that. So I'm curious. I'm curious about it. I don't know if I'll read the book before the movie. I'll probably watch the movie and then read the book because the book is not on like my top list right now.
Yeah,
it's so,
exactly.
It's so long.
I agree.
Sorry about the dogs. A while ago, it was posted that Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi. I can't pronounce her last name. I'm gonna try and butcher it. Is coming out. It's a a book to movie. Sorry, my words are terrible. Is coming out in 2027, and the cast has just been announced. It's like stacked cast. So this is: they killed my mother. They took our magic. They tried to bury us. Now we rise. Zelly remembers when the soil of Orisha hummed with magic. Burns ignited flames, Tiders beckoned waves, and Zelly's Reaper mother summoned forth souls. Ooh. But everything changed the night magic disappeared. Under the orders of the ruthless king, Maja were killed, leaving Zelly without a mother and her people without hope. Now Zelly has one chance to bring back magic and strike against the monarchy. With the help of the rogue princess, Zelly must outwit and outrun the crown prince, who is hell-bent on eradicating magic for good. This is definitely like an African traditional. When I saw the cast, it's African American cast. It looks very like she's probably bringing in traditions from Africa.
Oh, cool.
There is Idris Elba, Amanda Stenberg. Oh gosh, what's her name? That was just in Wicked. Cecily, what's her name?
Oh,
Oh gosh, why can't I think of her name?
I'm drawing a blank. As
Drawing
well.
up like I think Viola Davis, who I love, is in this.
Yeah.
It's a stacked.
Oh, that's gonna be really good.
Really good. So I've never heard of this book.
Yeah. Me neither.
Cynthia Erivo.
Yes, there we go.
I've never heard of this book, but when I saw the video going around of the author announcing her cast and like who's gonna play who, I was like, oh my god, I need to read this book. This sounds so amazing.
That does sound really good.
Yeah, so I'm excited to read this book.
That.
No, I've never heard of it either, but I'm so happy that I am hearing about it, and I'm gonna 100% read it before the movie comes.
We also have Ransom Canyon, which is a book by Jodie Thomas. It will be a series on Netflix, which is coming in April, starring Josh
Duhamel?
Yeah, Duhamel and Minka Kelly. And I'll read you the book here.
Never heard of this. I just saw the
neither.
trailer, and I was like, of course this is going to be based on a book.
It says... Oh, this is a long one from Goodreads.
Is it?
Yeah. It's first book in a compelling, emotionally resonant series set in a remote West Texas town where family can be made by blood or by choice. Rancher Staten Kirkland, the last descendant of Ransom Canyon's founding father, is rugged and practical to the last. No one knows that when his troubling memories threaten to overwhelm him, he runs to lovely, reclusive Quinn O'Grady, or that she has her own secret that no one living knows. And I'm kind of going to leave it there because it's quite long. So. But it sounds really good.
Yeah, it doesn't sound too bad.
I'm not really into Westerns, I must say.
No, I'm not into like Yellowstone or
me
things like that. It doesn't really interest me.
Yeah.
I can't even think of like a Western movie that I watched that's like romance. No, I can't even think about it. No.
Me neither. I'm not really into it.
Nah, not at the moment. I'm sure I'll get into it, but yeah, cowboys just don't do it for me.
Yeah, me neither. Or maybe they do, we just don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Like I remember seeing the one movie with Clint Eastwood's son, Scott Eastwood, and it was like a cowboy one with like Brittany something. The longest yard. Nope. Well, now, okay, now it's gonna bug me.
Is that a football movie?
No, he's a cowboy. He like rides bulls.
Oh, okay.
But it's like really popular because it's a very popular like book, The Longest Ride.
Oh, okay.
Like it's like a.
Oh, okay.
It's cowboys. I heard good things about it, but that would be like maybe the only one that I would think about reading, and he's like a cowboy, so I don't know if I'd watch Ransom Canyon. It doesn't seem like a TV show that would grip me.
Doesn't pique my interest too much.
No, but if you guys are into cowboys, check it out or read that book because there is 8 books in that series, which is a lot of books.
8? Oh my goodness, that's a long one.
That's a long, Well, that makes sense why it's turning into a series on Netflix and not a movie.
Enough content there.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you guys, when you were younger, ever read the House of Night series by PC Cast. There's like there's Marked, Betrayed, Chosen, Untamed. Like I love these books as like a young teen, and so I'll give you guys a little snippet because it just announced that it's going to become a movie, which is kind of weird because there's multiple books, but that's fine. It's tough to begin a new life away from her parents and friends. It gets even harder for Zoe to fit in when she finds she's no longer average fiddling. Okay, sorry. Whoa. She's been marked as special by the vampiress goddess Nyx. As Zoe tries to make new friends and maybe find a hot boyfriend or two, she comes up against all kinds of evil. Things at the House of Night are not always as they seem. Can Zoe find the courage deep within herself to find the truth and embrace her destiny? This is YA. I read it when I was a young adult, so like it's something I probably don't care about now. But I used to love these books, so I was like, I have to talk about it.
Oh, definitely. And it'll be cool to see it turned into a movie too, right?
Yeah. Well, it's been announced because all these times these books get announced, but they never actually.
Yeah, that's true.
They never actually.
They never actually make it to the screen. Yeah.
Yeah, which is frustrating, but it's so hard, especially actually talking about a book not coming to the screen at the moment is Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas.
That's right.
So at the moment, there are no plans for the adaptation. She sold the rights to Hulu. And Hulu was the one who's going to bring it to screen. But the news today is that Hulu no longer. No more. So the rights are going to go back to Sarah J. Maas. And she's going to then pitch her book, movie, TV show to another network.
Interesting.
What do you think?
I wonder what happened.
I don't know.
Like, why was Hulu like, we'll take it, and then, nah, we're good.
Well, apparently,
too much pressure.
Maybe. So, apparently Hulu's had the project for a while, but they just started development in 2021. The show was produced by Disney's, like a Disney executive who was the creator of Outlander. Have you heard of that show?
No.
Oh, that's like a really popular book talk show that's been out for, I want to say like over like a double-digit season. Like,
wow.
Yeah. I watched the first 4 seasons. It's really good.
Okay.
And the books have a really huge mass following. So yeah, it's like medieval time. A girl is in Scotland. She touched these like stones and it gets traveled back into time.
Oh, crazy.
And trying to, and then she falls in love with this man. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry, he's the creator of Outlander. But then apparently he left the project in July of last year, so he's no longer part of it. And then there was the writer's strike, the actor's strike of 2023, which paused their production. And then now it's just like, nope, not happening.
Into it.
Not into it. But as Santana said earlier,
it might be a budget thing too, right? Like creating all those like creatures and whatever, it takes a lot of money.
It does. It's time. It's dragons, right?
I think so.
'Cause we haven't read them.
Don't quote me on that, but I believe so. So that takes a lot of like special effects, which takes a lot of money, takes a lot of time, right?
Yeah.
So
and to think about it, there is like 6 books, 5-6 books.
That
like
again.
it's a lot, so it's a huge commitment.
Huge project.
Hey, get out of there! Put the toys down. Sorry, scolding the dog. Get out of there! Get out. So it's like it's a big commitment. To be like, hey, we have 6 books. Yeah. Like this is not a Game of Thrones or House of Dragon type of like cult following. I'm sure it's very popular. Yeah. But it's at least this is not the end of the movies or series. It's just she has to sell it to a new
someone else will take it on, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's popular enough.
Oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely. I'm sure they'll have no problem figuring it out. If they figure it out.
Exactly.
Well, I think that is it for our bookish news for today. Kind of a quick episode. We just kind of want to talk to you guys about some bookish news, and if this is interesting to you guys of hearing some of these things or you want to hear more, let us know.
Yeah, please let us know in the comments.
We'd be happy to research more and let you guys know what is currently happening in the bookish community. But yeah, I'm excited for Rebel Witch.
Yeah, me too.
I am gonna wait until March because I want to finish.
Yeah, I want it to be fresh in my mind. Yes, definitely. It's gonna be hard not to though. Like.
It's gonna be so hard. But like, I can't. I have to finish the book that I'm reading now. Like, I just have to get through it. Yeah. Because I don't want to become not like it's that confusing because the plots are different, but when like you're in a story and you want to know more, it's hard to get out of it.
I know, it's so true. So true.
Oh gosh, we'll come back next week as we discuss Normal People by Sally Rooney.
Our book review episode.
I'm so excited. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next time. Bye.